is the main.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. A song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just tear me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. It all just sounds like ooh. Your flowers and held your hand. Should've gave you all my hours when I had the chance. Take you to everybody, 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. Oh, my pride, my my selfish ways caused a good strong woman like you to walk out my life. Now I never get to clean up the mess I made. No.
Oh, okay, we're gonna look at that. Okay, so this far it's acoustic. And it's very minimal, which I love. If I'm going to do a voice teacher reacts, I get so distracted by all the lights and the dancers and the costumes. I can't even pay attention to the voice. But this is interesting. He's extremely consistent with the recording. It's almost no different from every time I've ever heard it, not live, except he did the end lick, the first verse that he usually does at the last one. And then he just did some fun stuff just now, which I wasn't expecting. So he has such a high voice that a lot of upper register females, altos, can sing the song because they can reach those lows because it's not that low. But he sings so high. That's a C. Never gonna, which is pretty high just to sing as easily as he's doing it. I would say he's kind of in a chest voice because he has a small voice. And I have had plenty of baritones work their way into singing a C in what we call the mix. So you can extend your range. So if Bruno Mars is out of your range and you're frustrated, it doesn't have to be a problem. You can actually learn how to extend your range, but don't be fooled if you don't have a high, belty voice like Bruno Mars does. He might be in chest voice because his vocal cords are dinky, and yours might be really big, so you can't belt that high like he can, but you can train yourself to. So it doesn't have to be a problem. I've had baritones and basses sing as high as Bruno Mars after just a little bit of training. So you have to learn how to get up that high, and it starts out to sound like head voice. It's going to sound like head voice in the beginning, but later it's going to turn into what sounds like chest voice, and that's the beauty of being trained. And that's the dirty secret of voice training that no one wants to tell you. He actually is belting. He's Bruno Mars, and he has a very tiny, high voice. And so this is nothing for him. But for people who don't get to be the artist, there is a problem that we have to solve. And it's how do we sound like Bruno Mars when it's not in our key? Do we just change it and lower it? Sure, why not? Or do we train ourselves to be able to sing like everybody? Everyone and their mother. Well, when you're an artist and you pick your own genre, your own style, and your own sort of flavor, you can put it where you want it. But when you're training to be a singer, everybody just copies everybody else, and it's a lot to ask, isn't it? I don't think Bruno Mars could do what Brandon Urie does or what Frank Sinatra does. What do I know? I don't know. But Bruno Mars does what Bruno Mars does. But because we're all training and we don't know where our voice is yet, we experiment with all the other singers, which is great. There's nothing wrong with it. But don't just walk away like, oh, Bruno Mars' belt's too high and I can't do that. You can learn how to do it. So anyway, he's so natural and he's so good and he sounds so authentic. but I don't understand the sunglasses because I feel a little bit closed off from him because I don't feel his soul so much because I can't see the window to his soul, the eyeballs. I can't see him. He is cute though, isn't he? And he reminds me a tiny bit of Michael Jackson, the way he goes, So anyway, I'm going to take it back to that lick. So he's just in his chest voice, guys. That's all this guy's doing. He's just in chest voice and he's crying a lot. He puts that little grovelly thing and it works great. He's got it. He's got it going, doesn't he? Okay, so here we go. I wound it back just a little bit.
My needs and my selfish ways cause the good strong woman like you to walk out my life. Now I never get to clean up the mess I made.
Never got to. It's a C. Never gotta clean up the mess. Now, if I wanted to kind of scream that, I could, but it would hurt. But you can hear it if you listen again. It's called thinning out. He's not going, never. He's going, nah, nah, nah. He's thinning out. So that's a good way to do it. He's thinning out those chords, the vocal cords. So listen again, and you can hear the tone change as he gets a little higher. He loses some bass. He gives it up, and he makes it skinny, and he adds resistance. He's really good at that.
Never get to clean up the mess I made.
On the word I, he adds lots of bass. So it sounds very fluid, and it sounds as though he kind of husky belted it, doesn't it? Never gonna clean up the mess never gonna clean up the mess Hear it. Listen for the bass when he comes back, and listen for the thinning out on top.
Never get to clean up the mess I made. No, and it haunts me every time I close my eyes. It all just sounds like ooh.
He changed it from the recording.
Too young, too dumb to realize that
Okay, I'm stopping it again. Do you love that? He goes into his head voice, and not only does he do something new and innovative, because we've all heard the recording plenty by now, or maybe not. I don't know. This was 2013, so I don't know when it actually came out. But if this was the debut, he did some nice little fills. He made some riffs and some trills. And I like it after never hearing that. So it made it a better song for me. And then the piano goes up when he goes up. And then when he goes into the head voice, he actually changed it from that. So this is a great training song. Even if you can't sing this high, sing it in head voice. The more head voice, the lower registers can do, the basses and the baritones, and even the altos, the more head voice you can do, even if you don't want to perform it, the better your voice will be. It strengthens you. Here we go.
I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. I should have gave you my hours when I had the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. Although it
Okay, wow, we're going to get to the bridge. One of my favorite bridges of all time. It's worth the wait. But you hear that little grovel thing? I can't do it. Listen for that. It makes it seem so emotional, but it's very, very skilled. It's a skill. You know, in my day, like Broadway people would go, we'd growl, and I got good at that. But with this little whiny crybaby thing, it feels very emotional, but it's not that dangerous. And he's really good at it, and it adds a lot of emotion. As I said, I'm still a little distracted because I can't see his eyes, so it bums me out just a little bit. But I do like his fluidity when he gets high. Here we go. This is the beginning of the bridge.
with another man. Although it hurts, yeah, I'll be the first to say that I was wrong.
Do you love that? Okay. Okay, so there was a lot of huskiness in the first two lines. And then when he got to the C that he knows he has to hold out, he mixed it. And we call it the mix because it's a little bit of chest voice, it's a little bit of head voice. It's like a peanut butter sandwich, both the bass and the sweet, yummy jam of head voice. And I'm spreading on purpose so that you can hear the tone quality. He kind of spread a little bit too, but one day you want to kind of graduate from that. So he's doing so many new things from the recording. I love it. So listen again. And what you're listening for is his ability to go into the upper register and thin out and then return in a husky, fat, chesty voice. And he adds that little grovelly thing. So listen for all those things that he does that make him Bruno Mars.
First to say that I was wrong. Oh, I know I'm probably much too late to try and apologize for my mistakes.
Okay, see? We call those throwaways. Much too late. My mistakes. It just gives it some space, and it gives it that heavy sigh and that resign. The writer, whether it was Bruno Mars or his team, it's a whole feeling that you get like, I'm not even going to try and win her back. I'm the one who messed up. Oh, don't apologize for my mistakes. Da 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 da. My mistakes. That's how the real one goes. But he goes, I don't apologize for my mistakes. He throws it away and then he gives it some space. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm still going to complain about the hat and the sunglasses. I'm sad because I want to see his eyes. But that's all right. Okay, so go back and listen again how that works when you throw it away. Throw it away.
Oh, I know I'm probably much too late to try and apologize for my mistakes. But I just want you to know,
I'm going to die. Oh, I have to hear it again. Baby, what? Oh, it was so good. He's so good, isn't he?
apologize for my mistakes. But I just want you to know,
Yeah. Isn't he cute? He gave them some time to go, yay. You know, I said that he reminds me a little bit of Michael Jackson. But maybe, okay, it could be Ray Charles because of the glasses. I don't know. But, you know, Ray Charles had some greasy licks, some just really laid back, greasy licks. And so this was not laid back. It was kind of like, it wasn't gratuitous. It wasn't like too show offy, but it was just enough for those of us who've heard the song a million times to go, oh, which I sure did. I was disarmed by those new licks. I think it was like 12 different notes. And it's not even in the real song. Want you to know. That's what he normally does. Want you to know. And he just did all those crazy ones. And there's like 12 of them. Beautiful. He one-upped his own song, didn't he? Okay, I'll just play it one more time so we can just enjoy it. Here we go, Bruno.
I just want you to know, I hope he buys you flowers. I hope he holds your hand. Give you all of his hours when he has the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause I remember how much you love to dance. Do all the things I should have done.
Goodness gracious. I tell you, I know you didn't ask, but I love remakes. I don't know why. I love every remake more than the original. and he's remaking his own song, and it's better than the original. It's probably not. It's just so innovative and non-repetitive. But forget the Ray Charles thing. I'm reacting out loud, stream of conscious. How about Stevie Wonder? That last part, right? Wow. Okay, so in case you can't analyze it, I need to explain it to you, but I'm sure you figured it out by now. He goes way up in his head voice. He's completely fluid in his registers, and he does that whiny thing when it gets really soft and draws us in. Now, oddly, he gets really soft, and he does sound a little nasal, like, I wish this and I wish that, and that's cute. That works because it's different than he's done the whole song thus far. But then we're pulled all the way back, and we can't really see his face in the dark. So we have only his emotions and the sound of the keyboard to rely on. But I just also noticed the beautiful flowers. I hope he buys you flowers, and look at all those flowers. Okay, we're going to listen again. And literally, he added that whole section after the bridge. He just added an O with all the 12 licks, and then he went back and he went soft, and now he's lifting up certain notes that had not been lifted up before to take us all by surprise. And I said I was disarmed by that skill. And this is when skill can move you, right? It's just so skillfully done. He's got some great moves, some great licks. And the piano chording is more jazzy. It does remind me of Stevie Wonder, who I love. A little bit, yeah? Okay, so going back. Did I pull it back yet? Pull it back a bit. I don't mind listening to it again. Oh, here's where it starts with the piano. With the flowers. So here's where he's whining. And he's soft and airy.
Take you to every party, 'cause I remember how much you loved the dance. Do all the things I should have done, baby, when I was your man. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man.
He's a perfect example of why everyone wants to be a singer. Just to be able to express yourself with that level of skill and acumen, and to be that musical, to marry genres of a little bit of pop, a little bit of jazz, a little bit of R&B. God, and it's so greasy, and then it's not. And he does vocally, aside from the musicality and the writing of the song, which is really, really good, when he goes up to the E. And if you have ideas like, I wish, I want to do this, but you can't execute them. It can be frustrating if you're a songwriter and you have these great ideas, but you don't know how to put them down with music behind them. Or if you have this idea of how you want to do this lick, but you can't deliver it and you can't execute it. And it's so frustrating when your vocabulary prevents you from communicating in the way you want to. So when you see an absolute expert do it, you're like, that's why I want singing lessons. That's why I want to sing. It feels so good to hear him do it, and we can relate to it. Anyone with regret can relate to the shoulda, damn it, shoulda. I just give up. And you cry about it, and then you got to move on. So this is a great move on song. Like, I wish you well. I really wish you well. I wish someone to love you the way you needed it, because I didn't do it. So aside from the content and the subject matter, when you hear someone sing like that, and it was not great. There was no bells and whistles. There was some flowers in the background. There was some, Rhodes sounding piano from the 90s. There was a guy with sunglasses, not even like Elton John used to have flashy glasses, and he'd stand up and play the piano. And Bruno Mars did very little, which is kind of why I chose this one. I wasn't sure if it was going to be acoustic. I wrote acoustic, but it didn't give it to me that it was acoustic. So I just crossed my fingers because, I don't watch them before I do this. And I'm just going to say, Bruno, this is why people want to sing. You make it seem easy, A. B, you express something we all feel, and we know it would feel so good to be able to do that. And just your skill level is just juicy and inspiring. Oh, my gosh. And you're just sitting there, and I think he's a little guy, right? So if I were to do a fast song, he'd show all his dance tricks and he'd show all his, good juju. But I loved just watching him sit there and rely on his skill and rely on the perfectly written song that says so much. And the image of the flowers, we don't need the image behind him. We just needed somebody to sit there and sing it to us. I could listen to it again and again. And I know that I say that all the time, but don't you agree? When you really focus and you're really listening, you're not just hearing, you're really listening. And in all of the arts, when you take something apart and you realize, oh my gosh, like a little tiny piece of literature, like one page, and every single word is chosen and crossed out, and then a new word is replaced and that doesn't work. And they work so hard on one page. And like an artist who just does a sketch, all the years of sketching that lead up to that beautiful, quick little sketch, there's so much expertise that goes in. So in any of the arts, and I mean painting, drawing, singing, writing, acting, I mean, I don't want to leave anybody out. Any, violinist, pianist, anything. There's so many layers that go into it. Aside from talent and aside from charm and aside from heart. So I love when an artist has heart, because I feel like I spend my days with technical stuff and technique, that if they still have heart after they've worked for 20 years on technical stuff, and they retained their heart in order to infuse the art, then, they win the prize. We have artists in our culture. They're celebrities, right? They're like kings and queens to us. But we need artists. I don't necessarily think they should be kings and queens and celebrities, but I'm really glad that there's been a democratization of the arts, that I'm doing Voice Teacher Reacts on famous celebrities and, well-established singers, but I've done people that aren't, because anybody can have their art seen now because of YouTube and Instagram and Vimeo and Substack and Reddit and Facebook. There's so many forums for all of us to present. So we have to work really hard on our process. We have to immerse ourselves in the genre that we love. And then when we see some expert like Bruno Mars, we feel the inspiration, and we can continue working hard at our own skill and appreciate everything that goes into any piece of art, any work of art. And just remember that behind all of these works of art is creativity, and creativity means to connect us. It is in our DNA. We are born with it. We wouldn't be here. The human race and the species and the earth and all nature and the skies and the stars, nothing would be here if it weren't for creativity. And the whole aim, the creativity connection, is to bring us as one and remind us that we are one, and to connect us to each other, to our deeper selves, to the world and nature around us, and hopefully to propel our species to help us be the best that we can be, and move us forward in our humanity and respect for our environment. So there's my little plug for creativity. I'm Renee Urbanovich. Thank you for joining me for Voice Teacher Reacts, exploring my favorite instrument, the voice, exploring creativity through my favorite instrument, the voice. Please share, like, and comment, and I will see you next time. Bye.